We got a new 2D Sonic game to talk about, and it feels like we're back in the 90s with the blue blur going head to head with Mario in the same week. Let's talk about what I thoroughly enjoyed in Sonic Superstars, where I think there's room for improvement, and why it gives me confidence in the future of 2D Sonic. I really love the visuals for Superstars, the colors pop, and I feel Arzest really handled translating the Genesis aesthetics into 2.5D well. Another great aspect I didn't see many reviews mention, this game does high refresh rates on PC. So this is not just a great looking game, but it is easily one of, if not the smoothest Sonic game I've ever played. 144Hz Sonic just hits different, man. Arzest did a great job with the visual design, special kudos to the map screen, it's so cute. The core characters are all excellent, Sonic, Tails, and Knucks control just as well as they did in the 90s, Amy is equally fantastic, her double jump and hammer were great for platforming and bosses, and she ended up being my second favorite character under Sonic for the gang. Don't worry, I'll have a video talking about that special unlock in a few weeks. Also, very quick point, the LEGO skins are amazing in this game. I'm glad that Sonic and LEGO is an official partnership, and I definitely need to see more of stuff like this in the future. My personal favorite element I feel they nailed in Superstars, and one I hope makes it into other Sonic games, are the Chaos Emerald powers. This is a mechanic I've always wanted to see them try, and they give you a fun gauntlet of abilities to use. And the process of getting them is great too, with what are easily my favorite series of special stages in any 2D Sonic game. The swing special stages where you collect the emeralds and tokens were always fun. They even made these turning stages fun for once. I never enjoyed these in Sonic 1 or Sonic 4, but I guess third time's the charm because they were great in Superstars. Each emerald comes with a unique ability, some more focused around platforming, others for bosses, but I think the majority were incredibly useful and helped give you an arsenal of tools to have at your disposal. I hope the ideas here are expanded and enhanced in all Sonic games going forward. It gives more power and importance to the individual Chaos Emeralds, and I'm all for them constantly trying new ideas with them in any future installment. Level design is also great in Superstars too. Very rarely did I feel like enemy placement was cheap, or there were a ton of punishing platforming sections with bottomless pits. My main critique of levels being that I feel a handful of these stages try a little too hard to be platforming gauntlets, and that at times can compromise speed. Certain character-only acts slow the pace to a crawl and just feel very un-Sonic-like. But mostly the design I found very pleasant. I just think going forward they could go more in the direction of levels like Speed Jungle, Frozen Base, Bridge Island, and Pinball Carnival, which I feel did an excellent job at creating great flow states and sense of speed. Bosses are where this game hits one of its pace-breaking issues. Most of these bosses are great, but some can be painfully obnoxious, either because of unnecessarily long recovery windows or transition animations that take forever. Sometimes just going through all of a boss's phases took longer than running through an actual level, and that should never be the case. If they get rid of the windows and quicken the flow for bosses, they would be substantially improved in the future. But they were still fun to fight for the most part. And the bosses do address one of my biggest worries going into Superstars, being that the game would be too easy. Thankfully, I really enjoyed the challenge of Superstars, especially in the second half. Plus, your unlock reward for beating the main story is a fantastic hard mode, and I can't wait to talk about the endgame, lore reveals, and more spoiler-filled content in a few weeks. The music of this game's a mixed bag for me. It feels like it's at war with itself, with half of the songs sounding excellent and being up to the platinum standard that we hold Sonic music to, while the other half feels like it's content with being just okay, with forced Genesis synths sounding like it's purposely trying to kneecap itself. However, even the lows of Superstar soundtrack aren't bad, and they don't sound like cats on a chalkboard like the classic level tracks from Forces. I just know that the more so-so tracks in this game could instantly be improved with actual instrumentation. There's a lot of collaborators for music on this game, and while overall it is a good soundtrack, it doesn't do nearly enough to solidify itself as one of the greats. But you will still have plenty of excellent Sonic music to add to your video game music playlists, and I will never be mad about that. My biggest critique overall for this game, though, is that Superstars ultimately is not a $60 game. Not because Superstars isn't fun or that it's not a good game, but I just personally don't think that the content on offer does enough to justify its price tag. They tried their best with the battle mode and the multiplayer offerings, but Superstars still should have been a $40 game. That feels like the right price for what's on offer, and if you're not a diehard Sonic fan, that's the price I recommend you wait to eventually get this game, especially with the holiday sales coming around the corner. In a way, I'm glad this game released in close proximity to Mario Wonder because I want the accolades and success of that title to fuel our Zest and Sonic team. We have that 90s competition back, and that breeds creativity and excellence when both parties have the drive to improve. I want Arzest to really unlock that creativity and expand on what works great in Superstars. You get glimpses of greatness in certain levels, with the Chaos Emerald powers and in a few boss fights, and I absolutely want that for them. I genuinely think Arzest could and should be the next proper 2D Sonic team, similar to how Dimps was. Moreover, I would love if the next 2D Sonic they made was in the style of Sonic Advance or Sonic Rush, a more modern 2D style. I think they would do a great job if they build on top of what they did here in Superstars and add elements that worked great for those games in the 2000s. To close on Sonic Superstars, I had a lot of fun with this one. So many of the boxes I wanted for the 2D Genesis style Sonic game after Mania was checked off with this game, and despite its issues, I still had a phenomenal time from start to finish. This was a great 2D Sonic to me, and I really hope Arzest gets another opportunity to craft a sequel with new creativity, ideas, or maybe even a new spin entirely to push 2D into a new ballpark. There's been a lot of excellent 2D platformers releasing in the past few years, and Superstars gives me hope that Arzest can light the path to be the next Dimps to create new experiences and leave a positive legacy on 2D Sonic. Let me know down below what you thought about Sonic Superstars and what you would like to see for the next 2D Sonic game. Love y'all. Have a blessed one.